In the realm of Greek folklore, there exists a strange group of creatures known as the Kallikantzaroi. These mischievous goblins hold a special place in traditional tales and are said to emerge during the 12 days of Christmas. So, what are the Kallikantzaroi? Well, there are these goblins that live underground that during the 12 days of Christmas they come up to the surface and start causing havoc. While they're underground, their main goal is to chop down the world tree and, well, bring about the end of the world. But during the time that they're above ground, they just want to cause a bunch of mayhem. Unfortunately for them, when they come back underground, they see the world tree has basically repaired itself, and they start the process all over again every single year. Funny thing is, year after year, they always get so close in chopping down the tree, but for some reason, Christmas distracts them so much that they completely forget. Now, like mentioned before, their break is during the 12 days of Christmas. That's from Christmas Eve through New Year, through other festivities that takes place throughout this period, until January 6th on Epiphany Day, also known as Theophany, which is supposed to be the day that Jesus Christ was baptized in the River Jordan. During this short window, they can roam around freely on Earth, causing all sorts of trouble before being forced back underground when the sun rises on Epiphany morning. Now, it's said that during these 12 days, it's believed that the line between the spiritual and the earthly realm becomes thin, so the Kallikantzaroi take advantage of this temporary freedom from their underground existence. They emerge from their dark homes with the aim to disrupt order and sow chaos among humans. They love causing chaos by extinguishing fires, scaring livestock, stealing household items, and playing pranks on unsuspecting people. During this time, people ensure their doors are locked securely, and they keep fires burning brightly. They also take protective measures like burning Yule logs to scare away these creatures from trying to come into their homes or putting them in danger. The reason behind their chaotic behavior can be interpreted in different ways. Some say they just want to undermine the joy and harmony associated with Christmas time, and others think it's an attempt to bring about chaos or even challenge divine authority by disturbing nature's balance. When the sun is about to rise on Epiphany morning, though, they start to get very worried. Some say it's because exposure to sunlight during this time would permanently turn them back into humans, undoing all the evil things they did and making them face judgment for all they've done. So they quickly run back to their underground homes before daybreak until next Christmas. There are variations in how these creatures came into existence or why they were transformed, specifically during Christmas time throughout Greek folklore and mythology. Now, like any creature that has been around for a while, the Kallikantzaroi appearance changes from region to region. Some say they look like small human-like beings with animal parts like goat legs or boar snouts. Others say they look like scary goblins with long arms and sharp claws. Their bodies are normally twisted and deformed because of their transformation from human to monsters. Their limbs are long or weirdly proportioned, and they have hands ending with sharp claws, which they use for all sorts of horrible things. Their skin is rough and dark colored like burnt charcoal or earth. They also have glowing red eyes that pierce through the dark. Normally, Kallikantzaroi are naked, or they wear ripped and dirty rags. In some places, it's believed they can also shapeshift into different forms. Now, I kept mentioning that the Kallikantzaroi would transform back into humans, and that's because in some regions, the Kallikantzaroi too come from humans. It's believed that some people can turn into the Kallikantzaroi if they were born between December 25th and January 6th, when they become adults. Now, to make sure that you didn't turn into a Kallikantzaroi, it's believed that binding a baby in tresses of garlic and straw or singeing the child's toenails can act as a countermeasure. Now, coming from underground, it's no surprise that the Kallikantzaroi are nocturnal, so of course they're not gonna like bright burning things. Like I mentioned before, one common prank they enjoy is putting out fires. So in Greek households, keeping a fire burning throughout the night is a way to protect yourself against the Kallikantzaroi. So because of that, they love to extinguish fire and leaving people vulnerable. They also love scaring livestock. Farmers tend to find their animals spooked or even missing after these goblins start roaming at night. The Kallikantzaroi love spooking herds, which eventually causes economic strain on farmers. They also have a habit of stealing stuff from people's houses. They like taking small objects like keys or shoes to make people confused and inconvenienced in their own homes. And they also love playing pranks on unsuspecting people they find during dark winter nights. Now, these pranks can range from basic tricks like moving objects or making noise, to more creepy stuff like whispering creepy messages and then vanishing. Now, keep in mind that this section is a bit more subject to interpretation, but other than causing pranks and general chaos, the Kallikantzaroi are practically obsessed with chopping down trees. Now, they're always associated with trying to chop down the world tree. They believe that by cutting down the world tree, they can bring about the end of the world. But it's practically pointless because every time they go up to the surface during the 12 days, the tree is all healed up and they start the process all over again. But in some regions during the 12 days, they don't just all of a sudden give up on their tree chopping obsession. Apparently, they'll start chopping down trees all over the place. Old habits die hard, I guess. You would think that once you got an almost 2-week break from literally doing the same thing every day for 353 days, you would take advantage of it, but I guess they just can't get enough of it. And again, this part is more subject to where you hear the legend of the Kallikantzaroi, but apparently, after they're done with their tree chopping, apparently the trees get restored again, probably by the same forces repairing the world tree. But in true Kallikantzaroi fashion, their obsession also causes economic loss for farmers who depend on the trees, destruction on the ecosystem because of soil erosion and destroying the habitats of wildlife, and making it harder for people to find good wood for fuel or building homes. Symbolically, the tree chopping could represent the Kallikantzaroi defiance against nature itself, and it could be seen as their attempt to dismantle the foundations that sustain life. So, to prevent these goblins from cutting down all the good trees, people have developed ways to keep them from getting chopped. One way is hanging bundles of garlic or holly leaf crosses on branches. Another common way is to hang collard greens or other leafy vegetables on branches. Apparently, they're repelled by the strong smell. Another way is by marking the tree trunks with black crosses made of ash or soot, or reciting prayers or enchantments while walking around forests during the 12 days awakening. People also bang pots and pans together, play loud music, and light fireworks since loud noises during nighttime can also scare them away. As mentioned before, when the dawn comes on Epiphany morning, the Kallikantzaroi rush back to their underground homes so that they don't turn back into humans. And in true Kallikantzaroi fashion, their return underground is as chaotic as can be. They scurry through cracks or vanish down wells to get away from daybreak when Epiphany morning comes. And if the sunlight wasn't enough, there are several rituals done just to make sure this pest is all gone. A common one is to bless water on Epiphany through a ceremony called the Great Blessings of Water. Priests will sanctify water and sprinkle it throughout homes, especially on doorways and windows to purify homes from any leftover evil left behind by the Kallikantzaroi or other less than savory spirits. The sprinkling process is done carefully. People move from room to room while reciting prayers and making cross signs with holy water. Another way involves putting basil leaf crosses above doors and windows. Basil in Greek culture represents protection and warding off negative energies. Burning cleansing herbs or incense like sage or myrrh is also a common way of getting rid of them. The smoke is believed to create a barrier that these creatures can't get through. And well, that's not the only way to protect yourself from the Kallikantzaroi. Greek households use many different protective measures during the 12 days of their emergence. A common way is to burn a Yule log or a Christmas log throughout the night. The Yule log is normally a large piece of wood that's lit on Christmas Eve and kept burning until Epiphany morning. The warmth and light that comes from it serves as a symbolic barrier that frightens these creatures away. Garlic is also normally used in Greek folklore since it's believed to ward off evil spirits, and so Greek households tend to place cloves of garlic on doorways or hang them on walls since it's believed to cause another invisible barrier against the Kallikantzaroi. Another common practice includes hanging crosses made from holly leaves above doors or windows, which work in a similar way as garlic. And of course, keeping doors securely locked and windows tightly shut throughout the night is another way to keep them out. Now, to clarify, this section's a bit more open to interpretation, but I'm going to try to break down the symbolism behind the legend of the Kallikantzaroi. One interpretation sees these Kallikantzaroi as symbols of chaos and disorder. Their disruptive actions during the 12 days awakening supposedly symbolizes potential threats to stability, harmony, and order in life. They serve as a reminder that even during festive times like Christmas, forces are seeking to disturb the balance and highlighting the importance of maintaining virtue and avoiding sinful actions that can lead to chaos. In addition, their emergence from underground into human territories reflects humanity's ongoing struggle against darkness. It reflects our constant battle against negative forces, whether internal conflicts or external influences that seek to disrupt our inner peace and collective harmony. The tree chopping obsession has additional symbolic meaning. By attempting to sever the world tree or cosmic tree, the symbol representing all creation, the Kallikantzaroi aim for ultimate destruction, which could reflect humanity's occasional desire to take down what sustains life itself. However, their efforts are consistently fought back against by magical intervention each night, which restores balance and perpetuates cosmic order. This constant pattern shows resistance and confirms the idea that harmony prevails over order in the bigger picture. In addition to that, the fear they have of sunlight adds an extra symbol of redemption and salvation. It represents that those who are consumed by darkness still have the opportunity to turn back into the light. But well, if you haven't turned into an adult yet, and you were born between December 25th and January 6th, maybe cinch your toenails a bit. Who knows? It might just prevent you from becoming an underground goblin obsessed with chopping down a giant tree. And I just want to say, for everyone who reached the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you could tell, my voice sounds a bit stuffy. It's because I have been dealing with COVID for the past 2 weeks. Honestly, I can't tell if the first time or the second time was worse. Either way, pretty bad. And if you're a subscriber who is waiting for the next video, by the way, I love you guys. That's the reason why I was taking a while to upload my next video. But either way, I should hopefully be back on track. I'm going to be trying to be making these longer form videos instead of these shorter form videos. And if you're not subscribed, here we cover a bunch of folklore and myths from around the world. So if you're interested in that and you'd be generous enough to give me a like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. And hey, if you're interested in seeing me cover anything, go ahead and comment. I'm actually pretty open to most suggestions. And well, if I got anything wrong on this video, please go ahead and let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.